Hey everyone, Mike here from the Amateur Repeater Directory. Hey, today we're going to talk about something that's a real problem and how we can overcome it using the Amateur Repeater Directory. One of the things that I've been putting together, the Amateur Repeater Directory supports linked networks, so I thought I'd quickly hop on and go in and tag all of our repeaters that are in SARnet, which is a statewide linked repeater system in Florida. It's actually pretty amazing, really. You can hop on a single repeater, and when you talk, it's echoed across the whole state. So I'm up here in the Panhandle, up by Pensacola even, and I can talk to people down in the Florida Keys on a 5-watt handheld. Pretty amazing. Anyway, this is their site. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm scrolling down a little bit. You can see that it's kind of outdated, right? It's dated clear back to 2023. The surprising thing is how much stuff changes in ham radio and quickly, especially with repeaters. They're always changing all the time, disappearing, reappearing, different tones, everything. So if you look at this list here on SARnet, you basically have the output frequency and the PL tone. It's not a lot to go by when you're talking about identifying repeaters. One of the things is I thought I would go take these and look these up in the Amateur Repeater Directory, and lo and behold, I can't find hardly any of them. As a matter of fact, on this list, I can only find 2 of them. Let's hop over here to the FASMA site, which is the Florida Amateur, the Florida Amateur Spectrum Management Association. They're the group that figures out which repeaters can be close to which repeaters and they don't interfere with each other and all that. It's pretty cool stuff. They do a wonderful job if you look at their site. They have coordinated and uncoordinated listings. If I take this site, take all those repeaters there, which I think there's like 48 or 50 of them, and feed it through and try to match on that frequency and PL tone, out of all those 50, I get 2 matches. So we don't really have good data. One of the problems is the SARnet site is way out of date and it really needs more information here. And I'm sure it's a lot to update as things go. The other thing is, if you look at their status report, which is from 6/1 of 2025 or 2025, it's 6 months out of date. So any of these that are offline, that was 6 months ago. And can you imagine, with 50 different repeaters trying to keep this up to date every day with what's changing, and guys have to get in contact with you and you have to update the page. What a hassle. It's a lot to do.
There's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad.
So the Amateur Repeater Directory can do a lot for groups like SARnet and ham radio clubs and repeater organizations and just anybody, even your own private site. The Amateur Repeater platform is very fast. It's also very easy to use, intuitive, and can update you when things change in real time, such as something changes on a repeater, something changes in a linked network that you're subscribing to, or a net starting. Maybe a net that I'm subscribing to is starting in 20 minutes. I'm going to get an email in my inbox to remind me. So how can we help SARnet? One thing we could do, if you think about that list on their page, see this status list here that's 6 months out of date? Let's look at how we can solve that. Let's go back to our site. Let's hit the embed button. I'll close that to show you. I'm on an iPad, by the way. That embed button there, I click that. It comes up. It's got 6 repeaters on the list. I'm going to remove these 2 just to make it a little smaller. So we have 4 repeaters in our list. I'm going to click embed. What that does is it allows me to put that list on another website. Matter of fact, let's add one more. On the left side is a list of repeaters you can choose from. I'm going to choose 444. Anything that starts with 444, I'm going to take one of them, pop it over here. Now I've got 5 on my list on the left. But anyway, let me click embed. So I just copied that little HTML snippet to the clipboard when I hit the embed button. Let's see what we can do with that. Let's go over to this little website here called CodePen. It's just for software developers to play around with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. I've got a little site I call My Club, and it has a list of repeaters right here, but you notice there are none. My repeaters that I want to put on there are all maintained on the Amateur Repeater Directory, and I just copy them to the clipboard.
I know Kung Fu. Show me.
So let's paste that in right here. Let's get that over far left. and hit paste. It just pasted that in. And let's scroll this in. You can see this little iframe here. It's really just a single HTML actually tag that goes on your page. Now let's scroll this up. Now look below. Automatically, I've got a list of repeaters. Those are this list. Notice it's W9ALB on the top and then W4UC. See, they're in the same order. Let's go over here and let's swap that. Let's uncheck that and let's move Whiskey Niner down one. Let's go back over here, refresh that page. Now let's save it first. Yeah, now let's refresh that page. Now Whiskey Niner is second in the list. Pretty cool, huh? So let's look at this. It's got nets. It's got nets. It even shows them over here. I'm clicking the nets on the far right. Let's say I want to go subscribe to that. I'm a user. I'm on your club. I'm going to go subscribe to that net because I want to get notified 20 minutes before that net starts. So if I clicked on the link in your website now, it took me back to the amateur repeater directory. Here's a list of nets down here. I'm already subscribed to them, but I'll unsubscribe. You could subscribe to all three of these nets, and now I'm going to get a notification 20 minutes before any of those nets start in my inbox. Not only that, if you change them or cancel them, I'm going to get an email as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's go back to our list. Now let's say that Whiskey Niner here is the second guy in the list. I am the repeater owner. That Whiskey Niner Alpha Lima Bravo is actually my call sign. It's not a real repeater. I just use that for these demos. I'm on the what we call the owner dashboard page. That's for repeater owners who have claimed their repeaters. Let's see if I can show you that. You notice this dialog here? Look at the bottom button. It says you own this repeater. I actually went in and claimed that repeater. Now I'm the only one that can edit it. So let's go back to the directory. To the owner dashboard. I'm going to pop up the status dialog. I'm going to mark this guy as offline. I'm going to say crash. And I'm going to save that. It happens in real time that I don't need approval. I'm the owner. I'm going to go back to my little club site. Look at all the buttons are online, right? I'm going to refresh the page and voila. Whiskey Niner is now offline. So anytime someone changes a repeater, it's immediately reflected on your page. Let's look at this too. Notice the PL tone is 123 over here on Whiskey Niner. Let's go to Whiskey Niner. I think I can do it on this page. Let's close this. I'm going to refresh the page. Yeah, there it is. Notice it's got the red X because it's offline. That's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and click the Properties tab and go into this little pencil icon. I'm going to change it from 123 to 136.5. Hit Submit. The changes were made immediately. So let's go back to our site. You notice right now I haven't refreshed. Whiskey Niner is tone 123. I'm going to refresh the site. Now it's 136.5. Not only that, but check this out. Let's go to my inbox. Now I've got 4 notifications. The last one was, before I went from online to offline and fixed a crash. You can see that there. Then I got a notification that said, hey, this repeater went from PL tone 123 to 136.5. And that is because, let's go back. That's because I'm subscribed to the repeater right there. You can see on this little dialog, there's a little bell at the top. I can subscribe there, or let's close this. I can go to the network, link network, and I'm subscribed to the entire SARnet list. Anytime any repeater on SARnet changes, I get a notification in my inbox. That's super cool. If you're one of the SARnet administrators, you want that email. Anytime any of your repeaters change, a owner says, hey, we're down, whatever. The cool thing is, this is your site. You don't have to maintain that list anymore. Let's go back to this page. This list that SARNet's trying to maintain, that's completely solved by this solution. They don't have to do a thing. As a matter of fact, they're alerted immediately when something changes. So let's go build that SARNet list for them.
Okay, you have some skill.
Okay, let's go build that SARnet list now. Let's go back to our embed button, pull up our list. Now this is my club repeaters. That was the one we built for that club website. Let's hit the plus sign next to that, and we're going to change, well, it always comes up with that default name. Let's call this, let's see if I can do this right. I'm doing this one-handed here. SARnet. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. Notice we got a list up there. It's completely blank. Now here's something pretty cool what you can do. I'm going to type in SARnet. So instead of looking for repeaters one by one by, either the call sign of the repeater, the frequency or whatever, check that out. I can type in the link network and get all the repeaters in that link network. Then I can click this checkbox up there to select them all, pop them into my list.
That's a nice trick.
You don't have to save anything, by the way. Everything's always saved. Every action's already saved. I'm going to click the embed button. I'm going to come back over to our CodePen site. Notice it's got nothing in there. I took the liberty of wiping that out when you weren't looking. So let's paste that back in here. Paste. There's our frame. Let's look up here. There's my club. There's my SARnet list. So that's how easy it was. So at this point, SARnet now has a list on their website. They don't have to do anything. It's kept up to date for them by the repeater owners or whoever they assign to edit repeaters. This website never has to change again. We're also adding other flavors with other fields you can add with different color schemes, all that kind of stuff you're going to want to do in the future. But that's pretty cool. I wanted to show you one other thing. I did whip up a cheesy little club site when I was testing this out. And you can hit the repeaters page here. I'll link that. You notice that that's just that same My Club repeater list that's over on the other dummy that we created over here. Now it's actually the SARnet list, but we were creating that club list. This is that club list over here on an actual realistic looking page. Pretty cool stuff, so they can just have that on there. The nice thing again is, let me go ahead and click on this second to the last, NE9ET. Click that, and again, it'll take you to that repeater where they can get more information from here, possibly subscribe to nets, things like that. Anyway, I hope you got a lot out of that. There's a lot of power in all this stuff, and it's pretty easy. And hopefully SARnet will jump in and want to take this stuff over and claim their repeaters and manage their whole network. Anyway, thanks. I hope you guys got a lot out of that.
Do you know what I'm talking about?